and we're starting off with soft skills because I believe that that's one of our most interested topics that we had this year. We had a lot of technical sessions, so we thought, why don't we do one soft skill session? This session has been scheduled by our Mumbai Executive Council, which is a council of volunteers that put together sessions and events for their communities, their tech, women in tech. So we have two members from the council here with us. We have Namrata and Kriti. Kriti, say hi.
Hello.
Hi, Kriti. And we have Namrata there. Namrata is also the regional leader for the Executive Council. And so thank you to both of them for putting this together. Yes, and I think I will now move it to Namrata to introduce the speaker that they've put together then.
Hi, everyone. And thank you, Aanchal, for joining us. And this is a special occasion on New Year, right? A new beginning, new year. So I'll just introduce our esteemed speaker, Aanchal Singh. She is a computer engineer who actually gravitated to decoding people over, coding programs. She did her MBA from Symbiosis, and she's an HR leader. Having an overall experience of 2 decades spanning across industries from financial services to automobile and now engineering consulting. Aanchal's areas of experience has been strategic business partnering, talent management, plus culture transformation, leadership development, equity, inclusion. She has been recognized as 40 under 40 HR leaders in 2020 by Jombay. I think she has very good experience across, across her 2 decades, right? It has been that she's also been a, people team in Worley India, right? An Australian engineering consulting MNC in energy, chemical and resources space, helping customers pivot towards a more sustainable future. She manages a base of around approximately 8K employees, and when not strategizing on, and attracting and retaining talent, she's actually busy managing her 2 beautiful children at home. And she loves cooking, traveling, and exploring new places, and being a boss and a mother. So welcome, Aanchal. Thank you for being part of this awesome session. Over to you. And thank you all for joining me.
Thanks, Namrata, for that introduction. Arushi, I didn't realize I'd made such a long introduction, but that felt good. Thanks, everyone, for this amazing opportunity, especially to my friend Aditi, who, really pushed me and nudged me to do this. And apologies to Arushi I kept on rescheduling this and we entered the next year. But I'm glad we're doing this today. And I truly hope I can add value to all those who've taken out time on a midweek evening 6. I know it's not easy with work and kids. So thanks everyone for joining. I'm going to dive in and would request Arushi to confirm once my screen is visible.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the entire screen, I think. One second. To talk about today and how soft skills, acquiring the right soft skills actually can enable your career journey, right? Like Arushi was mentioning, there've been so many talks around tech, I believe, in your community, and this is a refreshing and a different topic for all of you to hear about. However, for me, being an HR professional, this is something I hear day in and day out in a lot of our conversations amongst management and leadership. We discuss managers, we discuss leaders who are often very talented and high performing, but lack soft skills. And because of the soft skills being low or missing, they often have repercussions which are not too good for their career, right? So The importance of soft skills cannot be emphasized enough if you are someone who's really driven to, go places in your career. And that's what I'm going to talk about. Let me start with, introducing you to a little concept. So sorry, before that, if I could request the audience to put in your questions as and when they come to your mind or comments in the chat. And if I could request Arushi or someone from the team to, read them out when I pause, it'll be great. And obviously towards the end, we will have a FAQ conversation session. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that.
So a little something for you folks to ponder over. There's a concept called KISS. Has anyone heard of this, or any guesses what this is? You could just like speak, unmute and speak in case anyone knows.
Stupid, simple, stupid.
Sorry? Okay.
Knowledge,
Okay.
innovation,
Knowledge, innovation.
strategy.
That's what all the techies think, right? But I'll
Someone is saying keep it short and simple.
yes, they've got it. That's
Yeah,
what
I
it is.
forgot.
Yeah, so that's right. So keep it simple and short. So I'm a part of Worley India, an Australian engineering consulting organization. And as a part of the culture and our ritual, whenever we have a meeting, we start with something which is known as the learning moment or a reflection moment or a safety moment, right? So I thought I'll do a quick learning moment for all of us and introduce you all to the concept called KISS, which is keep it simple, stupid, right? Now, this was coined by a gentleman by the name of Kelly Johnson. You can see him on the screen. He was a key innovator and a game changer during World War II and created history when he was a aeronautical engineer who designed the jets that were used during the World War II. And the way he coined the term was that these extremely high flying jets were actually serviced by very simple mechanics who were using very simple tools. So that's how they introduced this term when these jets which were used in World War II could be handled so simply. Why don't we use this concept in life to keep everything simple, decluttered, less heavy, and keep life simple and our mind simple? So going by this principle, lesser the merrier. We will have that in the spirit of the session today and keep it very, very simple. Okay. We'll begin with answering some very simple questions. Okay. Soft skills seems like a simple concept and I'm here to simplify it. But we should still begin with understanding what are soft skills exactly. We'll go on to see why are they so important today. Everyone talks about acquiring the right soft skills, but why? And then we'll move on to how can one build soft skills and what are some of the soft skills that are extremely critical for you guys to have. Good to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so used to taking live sessions and not virtual. I'll need some noise happening and I can't see people right now on my screen. So I would urge someone to sort of keep giving me cues as to it's going fine and everyone is receiving it well in terms of, the content. Great.
Good
So
to go.
Great. Thank you so much. So what are soft skills? Very simple definition picked up by me here. They're very simply put, a set of personal attributes or behaviors or social attitudes that enable individuals to interact and work effectively and hence also enable workplace success. Okay. Like you can see on the screen, creativity, collaboration, adaptability, these are all the skills that today's workplace demands and needs in order to succeed at the workplace. And these are things which were never taught to us or discussed with us, right? We were never taught in school that, okay, decision making is an important skill and this is how you make decisions. Or adaptability is going to be so important for you to succeed in life. So in academics, we are not taught this. At home, it totally depends on the environment and the value system at home. But so if you have a family which is collaborative, if you're an ecosystem which is collaborative, you probably pick those skills or attributes up. But if not, and if your entire upbringing for 24 years has been in a certain manner, it gets extremely hard for people to acquire these skills later in life. But the idea is to have awareness and, change things still. So these are what soft skills are. And again, in the corporate world, in the working world, if these are soft skills, what are hard skills? Let's do a comparison to understand what is the real difference. So soft skills are your people skills or are interpersonal skills, right? Something which is not taught, but, can be built in and is innate also to some people. Whereas hard skills are completely functional, completely technical. You know coding, C++, you know how to do email marketing, you know how to do accounting. Those are hard skills. Soft skills, like we just discussed, are inborn, innate, or also can be acquired with adequate exposure, should there be realization around that. Hard skills can easily be learned in school and college, or even now through trainings, right? They're very black and white, very process driven, and functional skills can be acquired. Soft skills are extremely difficult to quantify. However, in the HR world, there is a science around evaluating behaviors, and that's what we do when we evaluate leaders and assess employees on their leadership skills. However, it's a very difficult thing to do. However, hard skills are very measurable and quantified in terms of your competency levels. Once you have the right soft skills and you've acquired a certain set of soft skills, they apply to all the jobs, right? Wherever you go, whichever sphere you go to, they are important and applicable. However, hard skills have to be newly acquired. If I'm an HR professional, if I decide to, let's say, become an accountant, I will obviously have to acquire new hard skills. When it comes to interviewing, soft skills become important for people to assess the person's culture fitment, attitude, personality traits, and hence do a check around culture fitment, personality fitment. Hard skills are the basic competencies basis which you will even screen the CV, the experience, the expertise, the qualification. Now, just giving an example, if I was to hire someone in my HR team, and for us, let's say it's important to know HR systems or, what is happening in the world of AI and HR, those things are good to have. However, if in the interview I feel these skills are not there, but the person is extremely empathetic, extremely collaborative, and very, very good on adaptability, let's say, I would definitely pick the person, because hard skills can be picked up, but soft skills are extremely difficult to, totally pick up. If you're a 0 to become a 10, of course, if you're a 5, you can obviously become a 8 or 9. All right, with me so far?
Yeah.
Yes.
We are.
Yes.
Superb. Also, I don't know if I'm going below the ribbon and you can see this, but hard skills give you a job, right? Because that's the basic skills that you've acquired, learned, studied. So you will probably get a job in your early years, let's say 5 years, 6 years, even 10 years. But soft skills build you a career. If you are aspiring to grow in the organization, hard skills start mattering little. And it's the soft skills which matter more. Okay. So now that we're clear on what are soft and hard skills, I would like to do a quick activity with the group here. and request everyone to take out your smartphones, scan this code, and you will see a question which says, how would you rate yourself on hard skills and soft skills on a scale of 1:10? Let's be authentic, because this is for us and our own reflection, and see where are we on our hard skills. Whatever vocation or discipline you're a part of, how good are you in your functional skills, technical skills? And in terms of soft skills, which is emotional intelligence or collaboration, interpersonal skills, uh, time management, decision making, all of those, where would you rate yourself? I just want to get a quick feel of where this group stands. Let me know once y'all have scanned this.
I'm seeing a few dones and yes in the chat.
Okay. Because I'm going to stop. Okay. Let me know once everyone is done. Maybe we'll wait for 20 more seconds. I just want to see, is Shreyoshi on the call? Okay. No. Okay. Someone from my team was going to join and help me with mentoring, but that's fine. I'll manage. Okay. Let us see what the results show. I'm going to have to stop sharing my screen and pull this up. 5.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So not bad. You know, it's a bias that all of us have in HR. I'm assuming it's a crowd. I mean, I had a bias that it's a crowd full of techies, and you know, the bias that we have at work is that techies are good with tech, but techies are not good with people management. So if this room has a majority of techies, I'm proven wrong, and it's a very close tie between soft skills and hard skills here. So, but great. What is interesting to note is there is scope to learn and there is scope to improve, unless we've been very harsh on rating ourselves 5 and 4, which most women do. So good self-reflection to know where we are. Arushi, can you see my other screen now, or?
No, we can see the results right now.
Okay, so I'll share screen again. Any comments, any views from anyone in the participants? You want to say something, or should we move ahead? Okay,
Yeah.
let's move ahead. I'm expecting some more warming up and then we'll talk, because let's have a conversation. This is not a boring one-way presentation, but a conversation, and it's a fairly simple topic, and let's all talk and discuss. Yeah. So why are soft skills important, right? Soft skills are responsible for up to 75% of your career results. And when we say career results, even your work delivery, apart from what you know every day and deliver because of your functional competency, it's more of what your influence you have on others, the decision making and all of that, right? So your career results, 75% of them are dependent on your soft skills. A study in LinkedIn revealed that 92% professional say soft skills are equally important, if not more important than hard skills, right? So they are equally and more important. And your success in your career is determined 85% by your soft skills and only 15% with your hard skills or functional skills. So this is how important soft skills are. And if by mistake you've undermined it, if you are aspiring to grow in your career, it's still not too late to realize it and reflect and improve. Okay. So technical skills, are of course important, which are hard skills. Hard work is the right attitude, putting in the hours, putting in the efforts, but soft skills do become the most important element to get career success. Any comments? Does everyone agree, disagree? Happy to have disagreements and make the conversation richer.
Please feel free to put your questions and thoughts in the chat. I'll read it out for Aanchal.
Yeah, that'll be great.
All in agreement for now.
All in agreement so far. Simple stuff, no debates. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we're talking about, we're all in agreement with how soft skills are important for our career growth. Another quick mentee, what do you think are the top skills, maybe just 3, required to excel and grow? It's a huge, when I was just researching on this topic, I think there are more than 100 soft skills that are there. But according to you, in your career journey, what are the 3 most important skills to acquire and grow? Okay. You can put it on Menti, or let's just put it in the chat. It'll be faster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see one that says ability to be cordial, be kind.
Ability to be cordial, be kind. That's right. This comes under the segment of emotional intelligence. What else? Just put in the chat. Teamwork. Yes, teamwork, problem solving, extremely, extremely important. That is correct. What else is important? Confidence is important. Time management, empathy, handling conflicts. Ability to understand each other's strengths and weakness. Absolutely right. Commitment, sincerity, effective communication. You guys have got it all. Conflict management. Absolutely. Absolutely. Communication skills. Yes. Absolutely. Any more missing? Negotiation. Absolutely. Negotiation. Very, very important. Just doing a check, Arushi. Do we have only women in the session? Do we have any male participants?
We mostly have women. I see a
Okay.
mention, maybe a few more.
Okay, so if there's a man out there, please shout out. But so yes, women empowerment, networking is so important. Women empowerment would not be a soft skill to have, but yes, confidence and believing that you can be a leader and being a leader is one. Great. I think we've got all our act together, and I think we all understand how important soft skills are, and it's a journey to acquire them, and we are all work in progress. Even with 20 years of HR experience and knowing what is soft skills and the impact it has, I'm still struggling to get the right soft skills, right? So yes, these are, after my research, like I said, there were 100 plus, but these would, according to me, be the most critical skills for success. And I've tried to bucketize them into different categories, right? We all spoke about communication skills, but communication is not only speaking good English or being confident. It is so much more today. We all keep speaking about empathy, emotional intelligence, and we'll speak more about it in the further slides. But in today's world of felt leadership, empathetic leadership, active listening is getting more and more importance. It is a very distracted world. It's a VUCA world. And we all don't have time because we are juggling so many things. So oftentimes, I don't know if you all will agree, but when we are having conversations at the workplace also, we're busy thinking about time is less, what's next on my plate. Am I listening to the person? Am I actually listening to the person without any distractions? So research says that active listening is one of the skills which is very rare and one of the skills which are really valued for future, if in the future form of leadership and the current form of leadership. And negotiation, someone already mentioned, is something which is extremely important in communication because that's a skill which will help us realize our worth. It'll help us communicate our worth to the world. And that is again something which a lot of us, men, women, especially women, lack in. And presenting in the right manner with confidence, the right data to the right people at the right forum is something that is very important too. Moving on to teamwork as the next bucket, right? You will be team players or leaders tomorrow, collaborating, networking, and leadership is so important. And when we say leadership, because one is an individual contributor, leadership is not important, is not the case. Leadership is a persona. Leadership are traits which I can see in kids who are 4 years, 5 years old also, right? So these are soft skills that you possess to take charge, to lead, to have a vision is a very important soft skill to have. Moving on to organizational skills, very important, underrated. Time management, prioritizing, planning, decision making. You could be the best coder, you could be the best HR professional, but if you're not on top of your game in terms of managing 9 hours, 10 hours, you're not prioritizing well, right? So organization skills are extremely important. And critical thinking, problem solving. In the corporate world, or even if you're an entrepreneur, problem solvers get paid more than doers. Thinkers get paid more than doers, right? So building that muscle for solving problems, managing crisis, coming up with creative solutions. By creativity, I don't mean only aesthetically creative. I mean resourceful solutions is a very, very key skill to have. So these are the 4 buckets I have put the skills in. I'll take a pause here before we move ahead and would like to hear from some participants. You can unmute yourself or put in the chat, whatever you're comfortable with. Are these the right set of soft skills that you should have in your radar, or there's some important ones missing? Or what do you feel about this? And the key word is the test is critical for success. If you want to succeed, whatever your definition of success is, it can be that position, that salary, that promotion, or anything, or just any dream which you want to bring to life. Are these the right soft skills? Or we are missing something?
I think articulating your own needs or speaking up for yourself is another, I don't know what bucket it comes under, possibly communication, is
Yeah.
also one of the biggest soft skills which specifically women need, right? So I think
Yeah.
that is something which is
Yeah,
critical.
yeah.
And piling on to that, I think the question I'd like to ask is, what is that soft skill that you struggle with the most? Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What is it that you want to know, and the how and the why of it would really be something that we could answer. Hesitation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Consist- What do you struggle with the most? You like, I feel like if you were to ask for me, it's personally, I would say difficult conversations are difficult for me because I want to always make the other person feel comfortable. I want them to be, there's inherently self-awareness is so important in the process of building soft skills because it's completely unique to us, and what we need is not at all the same thing as what, our colleagues would probably need. So I feel like there are common things, especially for women, because, a lot of us say sorry before we say something. We hesitate, like you've written, Dhara. So I feel like that question of what do we struggle with the most becomes a good sort of North Star to start working on what we need to work on.
Brilliant. And since I can't see the faces and I can see my slide only, who just spoke? Can you please share your name?
That was
Yeah,
Shreya.
Aanchal.
Sorry?
That's Shreya.
Shreya?
So
Shreya, I think that's a very interesting perspective, and I can't agree more. Let's pick up difficult conversations first. Again, as an HR professional, this is something we struggle with a lot. managers and leaders are so happy giving good news. You've got a promotion, you've got this raise, but when it comes to difficult conversation, your performance is not up to the mark, last 6 months, or you're extremely rude, they can't have this conversation. They find it so difficult to have these conversations. And so men, women alike, I would say, okay, and especially women, because we're just brought up believing that your responsibility is to make everyone happy, and if you're not able to do that, you're not being a nice person and not doing a good job. It becomes that much more tough for us to have those difficult conversations. So again, if you're aspiring to be, I'm just saying if again and again, because one size doesn't fit all. If you're not really aspiring to grow very high, and you believe I am not getting into confrontation or difficult conversation, that's perfectly okay too, and a choice. But authentic leadership, candid leadership, and having difficult conversation is something which is really getting valued now. We have a leader who is being discussed for a potential for succession in future, but one of the development areas for this leader has been identified as he cannot have difficult conversations, because then you're just making everyone believe you're all good and you're not calling a spade, and that's not a good thing. So yes, that's a very critical competency.
In the chat, we have consistency, hesitation, and I struggle a little bit while writing content. This is what they're saying, yeah.
Yeah, lovely. And she also mentioned standing up for yourself, right? So yeah, that's again a thing with women. And again, as a part of my HR journey, I try to find and hunt and nudge women in so many directions, because I see those inherent hesitations in them. So if they are I won't say attacked, or if they are cornered in a meeting with 10,000 questions, or if they are asked questions in a accusatory way, they're unable to stand up for themselves. I would say 70% of the women, and I'm not exaggerating or having a bias, this is the truth.
Yeah, advocating for the self was Priya. She was sharing that, how do you advocate for your needs?
Advocate for yourself. Yes, advocate for yourself. It just doesn't come naturally for women. Self-promotion, talking about your work, marketing your work, saying I did this, it doesn't come naturally to women. And just adding on to that, just a quick small story, okay? And this story is of a lady called Maya and a guy called Vikas, and they were making a presentation together, and as luck would have it, Maya did all the work, presentation, number crunching, extremely smart woman, extremely confident, extremely articulate. And she made the presentation to the boss, right? And Vikas was there as well. And but what happens is, I don't know if you all will be able to resonate with the story. She made the presentation as a confident person who's worked on it and knows her stuff. However, Vikas had interjections of questions and assertiveness, and confidence with which he just backed up those, she presented and he just led on things on that. So because of this confidence and assertiveness that was exhibited by Vikas, when it went to the second level of leaders, Maya was not even called for the presentation, and it was Vikas. So I'm just making a point that no matter how good you are, no matter how good your hard skills are or your content is, if you don't speak up, if you don't show that confidence, even overconfidence if required, you will have to pay a price for it. So, yeah. Any other thoughts before we move ahead? Okay, so these are all critical skills, and obviously it was not possible for me to cover all. So what I did was I tried to research what are the critical skills, and I chanced upon this Forbes article which spoke about the 3 soft skills to learn in 2025 that will pay you forever was a very interesting punchline which I didn't drop. But I don't know if they'll pay you forever, but these are definitely key. So any guesses what these 3 soft skills would be?
And learning say to no.
Mm-hmm. Learning to say no. That's a very again issue with mostly women, because we never say no, and we need to overcome that. And the earlier you overcome that in your career and not stop feeling bad about it, it's better. But yes, I won't say it'll feature in the 3 top soft skills of 2025, but very important one. And thanks for sharing that.
Writing.
Networking?
Sorry, I've just spilled the beans. So yes, it's emotional intelligence, resilience, and networking skills. So because I was overwhelmed by the soft skills when I was thinking on what to talk about today, you know, this is what will matter the most going forward. Would you agree to these ones? And we'll talk more about them going forward. Yeah. So let's talk about and deep dive into emotional intelligence. And let's actually get into how does one build these skills? You know, hard skills are obviously taught. They can also be automated one day, but soft skills will never get automated. And they are very closely related to emotional intelligence. And it'll be hard to teach them, right? So how do you build them? How do you actually it's easier said than done, right? It's very easy to understand what they are, but can you actually build them? Okay. So let's see how we can up our game, taking emotional intelligence as an example. Okay. Arushi, can you confirm if you can still see my slide and not the presenter view?
We can still see your slide.
Oh, great. So now, talking about emotional intelligence, actually, emotional intelligence is nothing but your ability to manage your emotions as well as emotions of others and recognize and influence others. So, you know, research says that 90% of your top performers have a very, very high EQ or emotional intelligence. And that is simply because people with high EQ or emotional intelligence, they bring out the best in others and cultivate high performing teams. They empathize well with others, they communicate effectively, and they even end up managing conflicts effectively. So 90% of your top performers are high on EQ. Now, what are the different elements of sub-skill, should I say, of emotional intelligence? The first thing which is important to understand your EQ is being self-aware. So to have a clear understanding of your strengths, your limitations, your emotions, your beliefs, your motivations is extremely, extremely important. And though it sounds extremely simple, but when Conferry had done a survey, they found that 79% executives and leaders, 79, that's a very high number. They had a skill which they ranked as their strength, but the others, peers and others perceived as their weakness. Okay. And this is called a blind spot, right? So for example, in HR, as you would know, we drive goal setting, performance management, pay review. So for example, goal setting has to be done. You all have 100% have to 100% people have to set 100% of their goals by so and so date. So I consider, and I am a very result oriented person, so I would always do it very well, and I would always think I'm result oriented. But what I thought was result orientation was actually perceived by my business as being pushy. You know, it's being pushy. So now I think it's my strength and they think it's my weakness. So to be very self-aware of that is something which is important in the EQ game. And after you have self-awareness, self-regulation is even more important. So to be aware is not enough, right? So I had to tone down and say, okay, getting things done and yet not being pushy is important. Similarly, I had a boss who was, who was an extremely bad listener, and he would talk, but he knew that with age, with time, with realization, very high on EQ, extremely high on EQ, but he knew that. So what he would do is, he would realize that he's doing all the talking and not other, and he said, I'll go on mute now. So he'll compulsorily put himself on mute on Teams and let others speak. He would also lose his cool over he had these hot spots, he would not like something, he'd lose his cool easily. He realized that. And what he would do is he would, when he saw himself, he realized that he's losing his cool. He would obviously count 1 to 10. And I've seen that happen very often. And he would take a break and say, okay, let's meet after 4 minutes. And he just take a walk around and come back. So self-awareness is important, and self-regulation becomes the next step. To know your blind spots, but to regulate them is even more important. And empathy obviously can't be emphasized enough. Leaders who excel at listening and responding with empathy, they perform 40% better than others, and especially in the spheres of coaching, planning, decision making. So empathy is again something which is really, really important in the soft skills game going ahead. And having motivation. So obviously being a self-starter, motivating yourself, motivating others is very critical to achieve success. And back with that, your social skills. So when I say social skills, it's not how you socialize or go out with others and connect with others. It's about how you perceive emotions of other folks and how you interact with them. And so to understand the room, the mood, if I go in a conversation with someone who I'm taking disciplinary action against in my workspace, I do that. I know what the person is going through. The person is going through mental stress. So how I talk to the person is what social skills is. Yeah. So these are elements that you need to consider while working on your emotional intelligence. So this is still conceptual, but how exactly do you do that? Lot of reflection, inner work, journaling on how you behave at work. Can you be true to yourself and answer those and record them? Get a view from others. 360-degree nowadays online, you can actually do 360-degree yourself also, wherein your peers, your boss, your subordinates get a link to give feedback on yourself. But if that is too cumbersome, you can even talk to some well-wishers who will give you authentic feedback so you realize your blind spots. Okay. And practice active listening. Very difficult. I'm a very bad listener myself, but I try to practice that. So, hide distraction, be focused, have shorter interactions, but try to be with the person and focus there. And pay attention to your, this is again connected to journaling. Like when self-reflection, inner work happens, you also have to reflect very truly, what happened, what triggers you, do you become defensive, uh, do you evoke some irritation in your colleagues, are you again too pushy? So that true pay attention to your emotions when you behave how, and record those so you can manage it better in future. And obviously, there are always amazing courses in LinkedIn, Coursera, so many online this thing where an expert can teach you how to really, work on emotional intelligence. So this is a bit about emotional intelligence, and I'm going to take a pause here. I hope this was not too heavy, but again, a very, very important competency and skill to have. So I couldn't help but discuss it here. Any comments, reflections from anyone?
I wanted to ask you, as an HR professional, in companies, how do organizations assess emotional intelligence? Is there a mechanism or way to do that?
Okay, very good question. Sorry, I missed your name.
Priya.
Shreya?
Priya.
Priya. Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
Priya. So, Priya, it's extremely, even if we were to, let's say, mark the 5 things that we see, empathy or
Right.
It's extremely difficult to do that. But what organizations have is all good organizations have a competency framework, or it's called leadership behaviors that every organization decides a set of 4, 5, Amazon has 13 leadership behaviors that are extremely critical to them. And I had interviewed for Amazon once.
Hmm.
Had 7 rounds where each interview round, the panelists were assessing me on 2 competencies only, and they have 13, right? So this is called behavioral event interviewing, uh, which will ask the candidate questions about situational questions. This was the situation. What did you do? How did you do? What was the impact? And then you assess behaviors through that. So it's a little technical in the HR field, but yes, leadership behaviors can be assessed. There are techniques and you have to be trained for it.
Yeah, so this is when a person is applying and enters an organization. I was more keen, is it something which is ongoing for even current
Yeah.
employees?
Yes. So what we do is we do assessment centers and development centers for key talent. You can't do for everyone. It's extremely expensive and time consuming.
Right.
So organization make a list of the key talent they want to invest in, and those are the people they want to watch out. They think are successors who will grow into leadership roles, and they do their assessment center. They are specialized organizations who do that, and you get a very detailed report where the person scientifically knows what are the gaps, and there is a discussion with the person, with the manager, and there is a development plan made for the person. Okay,
Okay.
and I'll show you a snippet of what that development plan looks like. I've made one template for you guys as well.
Oh, great. Okay.
So, yeah, it is yeah, these are soft skills that employees and people possess, but for us it has to be measured in the best possible
Right.
way. It's not as black and white, but there are tools which measure that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm conscious of time now, so I'm going to wrap this up in 5 minutes. So we have little time for interaction Q&As. Uh, networking is networking is something which is the second soft skill which I thought I will uh, expand on. As we all know, 80% of the women suck at networking, and let's be very honest. We really, really need to build this competency and skill. And networking is not about, my first point is prioritize networking. Don't call people when you need a job. You should do it as a skill that you must possess in order to, excel in life. And in the context of career advancement, the notion is that it's not what you know, it's not your hard skills, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Very, very important to have a very strong network. Okay. And some quick tips is we all have existing networks of ex-bosses, ex-colleagues, school, college. We just need to reconnect with those people, right? And with social media, so much coming in, it's not difficult, but we have to make a conscious effort. How you make an effort to, this is my exercising schedule, this is my a personal goal, kids goal, a financial goal. Make networking as a goal, because good to do, but you forget to do, but you must make it a habit. And when you get to not network, the impact is important. It's not only the opportunity, but the impact that you're trying to make. Hence, elevator pitch becomes extremely important. You get very few moments where you talking to the right person, right guy, girl, leader. Keep it ready. You practice it 100 times, but what am I going to say in a minute or two which will really impress the person? So keep your elevator pitches ready and nail it at the right time. Be a part, be a little shameless also. So for me, I've always been with businesses which are full of men, and I'm the only woman because HR has women, and with the entire diversity focus, everyone wants to hire women HR leaders. I'm always with a bunch of men, and it's a boys club. It is a boys club. Now I can think, oh, it's a boys club, they're going for smoke breaks. Oh, will it look good if I join them for lunch? I can be like that. Or I can say that why don't I be like one of the boys, because boys can be fun. And so break that network and not break that, get into that network, and you'll be surprised to find people who'll give you a hand and pull you into that network. So that's very important. And join networks with a common purpose like this lovely Anita.org. It's such a lovely network with, I mean, this is something you're already doing, so keep at it. And if you're a part of organizations which have programs, there are a lot of mentoring programs, sponsorship programs, networking programs. Enroll, find out about them and enroll, and then that's what gives you, the platform to be exposed to the right people at the right time. So these are some of the tips on networking. And very quickly, we all know this, and it's not rocket science, whatever we've been speaking about.
I'm
But
sure, like asked, I'm just giving you a time check. It's
yes, yes.
yeah,
I'll wrap up in a
5 to
minute.
6 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll wrap up in a minute. Now, if you want to, this is a network we use. This is a framework we use in HR. If you want to develop any skill, hard skill, soft skill, competency, anything, you need to have a 70-20-10 plan. This is established model which says 70% you learn something when you do it, 20% is social learning through sessions like this, or mentors, social networks, or formal learning is courses that you can, books you can read, or courses that you can learn. And once you, I expect and recommend and encourage all of you to list down the 3 top soft skills that you would want to acquire. Okay. And I've given an example of emotional intelligence. Draw this sheet out. What are you going to do on the job? What are you going to do socially? And what are you going to do formally? And this is something which will actually help you implement and build this skills for real. Okay. So this is Priya, the sheet that we use when we have, when a leader is found low in a competency, let's say collaboration, there will be a plan around how will he or she learn. Collaboration will be divided into this, and we follow this till execution.
Got it.
That was all from my side. We have 5 minutes, so
If
would
anyone
love,
has any questions,
yeah, any questions, any comments, any discussions that you want to do. Very, very happy to take them.
honestly, I think your session was so clear and so crisp, and the fact that you took your breaks.
Yeah, but would love to hear. I mean, do you really think?
Yeah, but I can see in the chat people are saying very nice session.
Yeah, I mean, thanks. But what I'm saying is that, while being an HR professional, while making the presentation, I was like, okay, there's so many soft skills I need to work on, and so many blind spots I may have. So I think the one big takeaway will be, yeah, you could focus on the Forbes article skills, but I would really urge and request everyone to put some reflection time and say what are the 3 soft skills you need to acquire given your situation, your work, and your need. It could be completely different for different people, right? So however, aspiring leaders, the 3 skills that we spoke about in including resilience. Resilience came up after COVID in a big way. Uncertainty, negative news, you have to be very, very resilient. So but like your any other goals, make these your goals and work towards them by reading, seeing programs, and also, building a network or having mentors who can help you achieve that.
Yes, I can see very wonderful. Yeah. I think everyone just thoroughly enjoyed the session. I think it was very any questions, anything that you have, Aanchal,
Any
you ready
comment?
to answer. Yeah.
And feel free to reach out to me for any help, on anything later.
Would you like me to put your LinkedIn in the chat?
Yeah, I would not be able to do it from here so fast, but
I-
probably, yeah, if you have it, I'd given it to you on mail. If you can please put it, feel free to reach out for anything. I'm extremely passionate about mentoring women formally, informally, for free. So, so please feel free to reach out if I can be of any help. Would love to help out.
Absolutely. I'm just going to put
Wonderful.
Aanchal's LinkedIn in the chat. Please feel free to reach out to her.
Yeah, but I really thank everyone for taking out time, like I said at the beginning, middle of the week, 6 p.m. when there is work, home, kids, everything. So this clearly shows that you're invested in your own growth, and I hope you had some takeaway today, and reflection and implementation is what would do the trick. Reflect on what we spoke about and try and implement something that'll make a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. And also thank you to you, Aanchal. Thank you for giving us your time on, like you said, a Thursday, 6 p.m. You've been very, very wonderful.
Pleasure, complete pleasure. I'm so glad I did this, and I continue to do.
And thank you to the Mumbai Council as well, Aditi, Namrata, and Kriti, who reached out to Aanchal and have all this done.
Thank you so much.